Ladies, when a man is truly in love with you, it's not just about what he says, it's about what he does. Love isn't just words, it's shown through consistent actions, effort, and the way he makes you feel. Too often, we find ourselves overanalyzing, searching for clues, or making excuses for behavior that doesn't align with real love. But when a man is genuinely in love, you won't have to guess. His love will be obvious, undeniable, and deeply felt. So today, let's talk about the 9 signs that a man is truly in love with you. When a man is truly in love with you, he makes you a priority in his life. This doesn't mean that he neglects his responsibilities, career, or personal goals, but rather that he ensures you are an essential part of his world. He doesn't just make time when it's convenient for him. He creates time because he values you and wants to be with you. You never feel like an afterthought, and you never have to chase his attention or wonder where you stand. His actions consistently show that he considers you in his decisions, and he genuinely enjoys spending time with you, whether it's for big moments or simple, everyday interactions. A man in love understands that relationships require effort, and he willingly puts in the work to make sure you feel cherished and valued. He doesn't disappear for days and then return with excuses. He doesn't only reach out when he wants something. Instead, he checks in with you because he genuinely cares about how your day is going. He makes plans with you in mind, ensuring that you feel included and considered. If he says he will call, he does. If he makes a commitment, he follows through. There's no guessing, no mixed signals, no uncertainty, just a steady and intentional effort to make sure you know you are important to him. When a man prioritizes you, he also makes an effort to integrate you into his life. He wants you to meet the people who matter to him, his close friends, his family, his mentors. He isn't hiding you or keeping you separate from the rest of his world. Instead, he is proud to have you by his side and excited to introduce you to the people who are important to him. When a man is truly invested in you, he isn't just focused on the romantic aspects of the relationship. He wants to share his life with you. He involves you in his interests, values your opinions, and considers your thoughts when making decisions. A man in love doesn't just make time for you when things are easy or convenient. He prioritizes you even when life gets busy or stressful. He doesn't push you aside or neglect you when challenges arise. Instead, he communicates with you, keeps you informed, and ensures that you still feel secure in the relationship. He understands that life is unpredictable, but he doesn't use that as an excuse to neglect your connection. Instead, he reassures you with his consistency, showing you that no matter what happens, you are important to him. Prioritizing you also means respecting your needs, boundaries, and emotions. He doesn't dismiss your feelings or make you feel like you're asking for too much. He takes the time to understand what makes you feel loved and appreciated, and he makes an effort to meet you where you are. He doesn't treat you like an option or something temporary. His love is evident in the way he shows up for you, values your time, and demonstrates through his actions that you are someone he truly cherishes. When a man is in love with you, he listens to you with intention. This means not just hearing the words you say, he is actively engaged, processing, and remembering the details because he genuinely cares about what matters to you. He doesn't just nod along absentmindedly or wait for his turn to speak. Instead, he makes eye contact, asks questions, and makes you feel truly heard. You never feel like you're talking to a wall or competing for his attention because he is fully present in your conversations. A man who listens with intention doesn't forget the little things. He remembers the stories you tell, your favorite foods, the name of your childhood pet, or the dream you mentioned months ago. He picks up on your emotions, noticing when something is off, even if you haven't said it directly. He takes note of your likes and dislikes and uses that information to make thoughtful gestures, whether it's surprising you with your favorite snack or supporting you when you're stressed. His ability to recall small details isn't just about having a good memory. It's a reflection of his deep interest in you and his desire to truly know you. When he listens, he isn't just focused on the words you say, he also pays attention to what you don't say. He understands your tone, body language, and the emotions behind your words. If you say you're fine, but your voice sounds different, he doesn't just brush it off. He asks if something is wrong. He creates a safe space for you to open up because he wants to understand you on a deeper level. You never feel like you have to keep your feelings bottled up or that your emotions are a burden to him. Instead, he is patient and willing to listen even when the conversation is difficult. A man who truly listens to you also values your opinions. He seeks your advice, asks for your perspective, and respects your thoughts, even if they differ from his own. He doesn't dismiss your views or make you feel like your input doesn't matter. Whether it's a small decision like picking a restaurant or a big decision about the future, Wade genuinely considers what you have to say. You feel like a partner in the relationship, not just someone who is along for the ride. Listening with intention also means remembering what's important to you and acting on it. He doesn't just listen in the moment and then forget about it later. If you mention a stressful work deadline, he follows up and asks how it went. If you talked about a book you wanted to read, he surprises you with a copy. He listens because he wants to show you that your words have meaning, that what you say matters to him, and that he values you not just as a romantic partner, but as a person. His ability to listen with depth and care strengthens your emotional connection, making you feel truly seen, heard, and valued in relationship. When a man is truly in love with you, he supports your dreams and goals in a way that makes you feel empowered, encouraged, and uplifted. He doesn't see your ambitions as a threat or an inconvenience. Instead, he admires your drive, respects your vision, and actively participates in helping you achieve what you desire. His love isn't just about romance, it's about partnership, about wanting to see you grow into the best version of yourself. He understands that a strong, fulfilling relationship is built on two individuals who support each other's aspirations rather than hold each other back. A man who supports your dreams doesn't just offer surface level encouragement. He takes the time to truly understand what you want and why it matters to you. He asks questions about your goals, listens to your plans, and engages in meaningful conversations about how you can reach them. He believes in your potential even when you doubt yourself. When you express fear or uncertainty, he reassures you, reminding you of your strengths and capabilities. His words and actions align in a way that makes you feel safe in your journey, knowing that you have someone by your side who genuinely wants to see you succeed. Beyond words, he actively shows up for you. If you have an important event, he's there to support you. If you need help with something related to your goals, he's willing to contribute in whatever way he can. He celebrates your victories, both big and small, because your success is his success. He isn't intimidated by your growth. He is inspired by it. A man who truly loves you understands that your progress in life doesn't take anything away from him. Rather, it strengthens the relationship. He wants you to shine, and he is proud to stand beside a woman who is striving for something meaningful. A man in love also makes adjustments to ensure that your goals and his align. He doesn't expect you to sacrifice your dreams for the relationship, nor does he assume that his dreams are more important than yours. He is willing to compromise and find ways to build a future together that supports both of your ambitions. He understands that a healthy relationship isn't about one person following while the other leads. It's about two people walking side by side, each growing and thriving in their own way. Even when challenges arise, he doesn't waver in his support. If you experience setbacks or failures, he doesn't discourage you or tell you to give up. Instead, he stands by you, offering guidance, motivation, and sometimes even a gentle push when you need it. He reminds you why you started in the first place and helps you regain confidence when you feel like quitting. His belief in you remains steady because his love is rooted in seeing you fulfill your purpose. He doesn't just love the parts of you that are convenient. He loves all of you, including your passions, your goals, and the future you are working toward. His support is not conditional, and it's not given only when things are easy. It's present through every step of your journey, providing the encouragement, strength, and reassurance that reminds you that you are not alone in your pursuit of greatness. When a man is truly in love with you, he is consistent in his words, actions, and commitment to the relationship. He doesn't leave you questioning where you stand or wondering if his feelings will change overnight. His love isn't based on convenience or fleeting emotions. It is steady, reliable, and intentional. Consistency is one of the strongest indicators of genuine love because it shows that he values you, respects your time, and wants to build something real with you. A consistent man follows through on his promises. If he says he will call, he does. If he makes plans with you, he doesn't cancel at the last minute without a good reason. He doesn't give you excuses or make you chase after his attention. Instead, he creates a sense of security in the relationship by being dependable. You don't have to overanalyze his actions or decode mixed signals because he makes his intentions clear through his behavior. His words and actions align, and that alignment builds trust over time. Emotional consistency is just as important as physical presence. A man who truly loves you doesn't act affectionate one day and distant the next. He doesn't make you feel like you are on an emotional roller coaster, constantly trying to figure out if he still cares. Instead, he maintains a stable emotional connection, showing up for you whether things are easy or challenging. He doesn't let stress, work, or external circumstances dictate how he treats you. He makes an effort to be present and engaged even when life gets busy because he understands that love requires ongoing effort. A consistent man also communicates openly and honestly. He doesn't leave you in the dark wondering why he has gone silent or withdrawn. If something is on his mind, he talks about it rather than shutting down. He listens when you express your feelings and works through conflicts rather than avoiding them. His ability to have mature, respectful conversations shows that he values the relationship and wants to strengthen it rather than run away at the first sign of difficulty. His consistency extends beyond just how he treats you. It reflects in his character and personal integrity. He is the same person regardless of the situation. He doesn't act one way in private and another way in public. He doesn't change depending on who is around. The love he shows you is not performative. It is genuine and rooted in who he is at his core. He treats you with kindness, respect, and consideration at all times, not just when it's convenient or when he wants something in return. A man who is truly in love doesn't make you feel anxious about where you stand. His consistency reassures you that his feelings are real and that he sees a future with you. He invests time, energy, and effort into the relationship, showing that he is committed not just for the moment, but for the long term. His love is not defined by grand gestures alone, but by the steady, everyday actions that prove you are an important part of his life. When a man is truly in love with you, he makes you a priority in his life. He doesn't just fit you into his schedule when it's convenient for him. He actively makes time for you because he values your presence and wants to nurture the relationship. He doesn't leave you wondering where you stand or make you feel like an afterthought. Instead, he ensures that you feel important, appreciated, and cherished through his actions, not just his words. A man who prioritizes you doesn't just make time for special occasions or date nights. He includes you in his daily life, making sure that you feel connected even in the midst of his responsibilities. Whether he's busy with work, personal goals, or other commitments, he still finds ways to show you that you matter. He calls to check in, sends a thoughtful message, or takes time to ask how your day was. He understands that relationships require effort and consistency, and he is willing to make those efforts because you are not just another obligation, you are someone he deeply cares about. He also makes you feel seen and heard. When you talk, he listens attentively, not just to respond, but to understand. He remembers the things that are important to you, whether it's your dreams, concerns, or even the small details about your likes and dislikes. He engages in conversations that matter to you and shows genuine interest in your thoughts and experiences. He makes sure that your voice is valued in the relationship and that you feel emotionally supported. Prioritizing you also means making an effort to include you in his world. He introduces you to his family and friends, integrating you into different aspects of his life. He doesn't keep you separate or make you feel like you exist only in a compartment of his time. When he has big decisions to make, he seeks your input because he values your perspective. He considers how his choices impact not just him, but the relationship as a whole. A man who is truly in love with you also makes sacrifices when necessary. He is willing to adjust his plans or step out of his comfort zone to support you when you need him. If something is important to you, he makes an effort to be there, even if it means rearranging his own schedule. His love isn't about convenience, it's about commitment. And his commitment to you is there. He shows up in ways that matter, proving through actions that he sees you as an essential part of his life. Not just someone he spends time with when nothing else is going on. He also creates space for you in his future. His plans don't just revolve around his individual goals. They include you. He talks about the future with a sense of togetherness, showing that he envisions a life where you are by his side. He doesn't keep you guessing or make you feel like you have to fight for a place in his life. Instead, he reassures you through his consistency, actions, and dedication, making it clear that you are someone he truly values and wants to build a meaningful relationship with. When a man is truly in love with you, he makes an effort to resolve conflicts in a healthy and constructive way. He doesn't ignore issues, dismiss your feelings, or avoid difficult conversations. Instead, he approaches disagreements with patience, understanding, and a desire to find a solution that strengthens the relationship rather than weakens it. He values the connection more than his ego and doesn't let temporary frustrations create long-term damage. A man who is emotionally invested in you listens when problems arise. He doesn't just hear the words you say, he pays attention to the emotions behind them. He seeks to understand your perspective rather than immediately jumping to defend himself. His goal isn't to prove he's right, but to work through misunderstandings in a way that deepens trust and emotional security. He knows that a strong relationship isn't about avoiding conflict altogether, but about handling it with maturity and respect. He also communicates openly and honestly. He doesn't bottle up his emotions or shut down when things get difficult. If something is bothering him, he brings it up calmly instead of letting resentment build. He creates a safe space for both of you to express your feelings without fear of being judged or dismissed. His willingness to talk things through, even when it's uncomfortable, shows that he is committed to making the relationship work. A man in love also knows the importance of compromise. He doesn't insist on having things his way all the time or expect you to be the one who always bends. He recognizes that a successful relationship requires give and take. He is willing to meet you halfway, adjust his perspective, and find solutions that work for both of you. His goal is not to win an argument, but to ensure that both of you feel heard, valued, and respected. He also takes responsibility for his actions. When he makes a mistake, he owns up to it rather than making excuses or shifting blame. He doesn't minimize your feelings by saying you're overreacting or being too sensitive. Instead, he acknowledges how his words or actions may have hurt you and makes an effort to do better. He understands that accountability is a sign of emotional maturity and that growth is a continuous process in any loving relationship. Beyond words, he shows through his actions that he values emotional harmony. He doesn't resort to silent treatment, passive aggressiveness, or manipulation to get his way. He chooses to approach conflict with kindness and a willingness to work through issues as a team. Even when emotions run high, he focuses on repairing the relationship rather than tearing it apart. He also reassures you after disagreements. He doesn't let arguments create emotional distance, but instead makes an effort to reconnect and strengthen the bond between you. Whether it's through affectionate gestures, thoughtful conversations, or simply making sure you know he's still there, he ensures that disagreements don't lead to doubt about his love. His ability to work through conflicts with care and intention is a reflection of the depth of his feelings for you. When a man is truly in love with you, he supports your dreams and aspirations. He doesn't see your ambitions as a threat or an inconvenience. Instead, he encourages you to grow, evolve, and chase after the things that bring you fulfillment. He understands that a strong relationship isn't about control or limitation, but about uplifting each other and creating space for both individuals to thrive. His love is not just about what you bring to his life. It's also about how he can help you become the best version of yourself. A man who genuinely supports you takes the time to understand your goals. He listens when you talk about your passions, asks questions about your dreams, and takes a genuine interest in what excites you. He doesn't dismiss your ambitions or make you feel like they are unrealistic. Instead, he helps you see possibilities and offers encouragement when you feel uncertain. His belief in you is unwavering, and that belief becomes a source of strength when you face challenges. He also actively participates in your growth. He doesn't just say he supports you, he shows it through his actions, whether it's attending an event that's important to you, helping you brainstorm ideas, or simply being a sounding board when you need advice. He makes an effort to be involved. He celebrates your achievements, no matter how big or small, and takes pride in seeing you succeed. He doesn't feel the need to compete with you or diminish your success. Instead, he lifts you up and reminds you of your worth. When setbacks arise, he is there to reassure you. He doesn't let you fall into self-doubt or dwell on failures. Instead, he reminds you of your strength, helps you see the lessons in difficult situations, and encourages you to keep moving forward. His presence is steady, not just during the good times, but also when things don't go as planned. He understands that success is a journey, and he stands by your side through every step of it. And a man who truly loves you also makes adjustments in his own life to align with your aspirations. He doesn't expect you to be the only one making sacrifices or compromises. He finds ways to support your growth while still nurturing the relationship. If your goals require time, effort, or even distance, he works with you to create balance rather than making you feel guilty for wanting more. He sees your happiness and fulfillment as part of the foundation of a strong, lasting connection. He also challenges you to aim higher. He doesn't let you settle for less than what you deserve or shrink yourself to fit into comfort zones. He encourages you to step outside of fear, take risks, and believe in yourself even when you doubt your abilities. His love isn't about keeping you where you are. It's about walking with you toward where you're meant to be. His support is not just in words, but in the way he stands by you as you reach for something greater. When a man is truly in love with you, he makes you feel emotionally safe. He creates an environment where you can express yourself without fear of judgment, rejection, or ridicule. He listens with an open heart and mind, making sure that your feelings are acknowledged and validated. You never feel like you have to hide parts of yourself to keep the peace or suppress emotions out of fear that he won't understand. Instead, you feel free to be vulnerable, knowing that he values your emotions and responds with care and respect. A man who provides emotional safety doesn't dismiss your concerns or make you feel like you're overreacting. He doesn't shut down when conversations get deep or uncomfortable. Instead, he leans in, listens, and reassures you that your feelings matter. He understands that communication is the foundation of a healthy relationship. And when something is on your mind, he wants to know about it, not because he has to, but because he genuinely cares about your well-being. He all practices emotional consistency. He doesn't leave you guessing about where you stand or what he feels. His words and actions align, making it clear that his love for you is real and dependable. He doesn't give affection one day and withdraw it the next. He doesn't manipulate or use silence as a weapon to control you. Instead, he remains steady, making sure that you never have to question his commitment or intentions. His love is something you can trust, not something that feels uncertain or unstable. A man who loves you also makes room for your emotions, even when they are intense or difficult. He doesn't make you feel bad for crying, expressing frustration, or needing reassurance. He understands that emotions are part of being human, and he holds space for you when you need it. He knows when to offer advice and when to simply listen. He doesn't try to fix everything immediately. Sometimes he just sits with you in your emotions, providing comfort and presence without trying to change how you feel. He also shares his emotions with you. He doesn't hide behind walls or suppress his own feelings to appear strong. Instead, he opens up about his thoughts, fears, and dreams, allowing you to see him fully. He trusts you with his vulnerabilities because he knows that emotional intimacy is built on mutual openness. He is willing to have honest conversations about his feelings, even when they are difficult, because he values transparency in the relationship. He reassures you through both words and actions. He reminds you that you are loved, appreciated, and valued, not just through occasional grand gestures, but through everyday moments of care and attention. Whether it's through affectionate touches, kind words, or simply being present when you need him, he continuously reinforces that you are safe with him. His love creates a space where you can grow, heal, and be fully yourself without fear of being judged or abandoned. When a man is truly in love with you, he respects you as an individual and values your autonomy. He doesn't see you as an extension of himself or someone to be controlled, but rather as a complete person with your own needs, desires, and goals. He understands that a healthy relationship is built on mutual respect, where both partners have the freedom to grow, express themselves, and pursue their own passions. He encourages you to be your authentic self, knowing that the strength of your relationship lies in the individuality of each person. A man who loves you respects your boundaries. He knows that personal space, whether physical, emotional, or mental, is essential for both of you. He never pushes you to do something you're uncomfortable with or oversteps the limits you've set. He listens when you say no and accepts it without question, understanding that true love is not about demanding or manipulating, but about honoring the other person's needs. His respect for your boundaries creates an atmosphere of trust and safety where both of you feel valued. He also supports your independence. He doesn't feel threatened by your success, intelligence, or independence, but instead celebrates it. He admires the woman you are and wants to see you thrive in all areas of your life. Whether it's supporting your career, encouraging you to pursue your hobbies, or applauding your personal growth, he's genuinely happy when you succeed. He understands that in a partnership, both individuals should have the freedom to pursue their own aspirations and that this mutual respect strengthens the bond you share. A man in love also respects your feelings. He understands that your emotions are valid even when they differ from his own. When you're hurt, frustrated, or sad, he takes the time to listen without dismissing or invalidating your emotions. He doesn't try to fix you or tell you to just get over it. Instead, he allows you to express what you're feeling and makes an effort to understand your perspective. He knows that emotional connection isn't just about agreeing on everything, but about being there for each other in both the good and the challenging moments. He also respects your need for time and space. He doesn't pressure you to always be available or expect you to prioritize him above all else. He understands that you need time to recharge, to spend with friends, or to focus on your personal goals. He doesn't see this as a sign of disinterest or distance. Instead, he respects it as part of maintaining a healthy relationship where both people can continue to thrive as individuals. This respect for your time and space allows both of you to come back together with renewed energy and appreciation for each other. A man who loves you also respects the relationship itself. He doesn't take it for granted or let it slip into complacency. He puts effort into keeping the connection strong, whether it's through thoughtful gestures, meaningful conversations, or simply spending quality together. He understands that relationships require work, and he is committed to putting in the effort to maintain and strengthen your bond. He respects you not only as a partner, but as an equal who deserves love, care, and attention.